we are going to talk about signals indicating coherence or transition signals. Let's define first the word coherence. Coherence is very important in a sentence, paragraph, or text. It helps the author in establishing connection between and among concepts presented. It can only be established with the help of various transition signals that signify different meanings. These signals are used depending on the meaning or context portrayed. A change in transition signal may result to incomprehensible concept or absence of connection. Here are the four basic classifications of transition signals. For the additive transitions, it is used to add a similar idea, introduce an additional idea, introduce an example or illustration, introduce a restatement or explanation, and draw to close or summarize. For adversative transitions, it is used to introduce an opposition to an idea, contrast or emphasize or clarify a point. For causal transitions, it is used to indicate a consequence or result. And for sequential transitions, it is used to indicate the sequence of ideas, events, or actions. Let's now have the transition signals for each function. First, to add a similar idea. Here are the transition signals. Example sentence: we should all be careful with the coronavirus disease that makes our respiratory system weak. Likewise, the HIV or AIDS that makes our immune system frail. In the sentence, likewise is used to indicate addition of similar idea, since both the coronavirus and HIV or AIDS weakens the immune system. Next, to introduce an additional idea. The transition signals in the example sentence, the government reminds the people on the existing policies on community quarantine. Also, it advises them to always observe appropriate health protocols. Here, also is used to introduce additional idea, which is the people are advised to observe appropriate health protocols, based on the first idea, which is the reminder of the government on the existing policies on community quarantine. To introduce an example or illustration, the transition signals are sentence: there are various health protocols that the government mandates. Social or physical distancing, for example, must be strictly observed, especially in public places. In the sentence, we use the signal for example to indicate that social or physical distancing are examples of various health protocols. To introduce a restatement or explanation, transition signals are sentence: we did not enjoy our vacation in Hong Kong. In fact, heavy rains poured the city for almost 3 days. The transition signal, in fact, is used to explain why the speaker did not enjoy their vacation in Hong Kong, and that is because it rained. The last function under additive transition is to draw to close or summarize. The transition signals sentence: many companies were forced to shut down. The unemployment rate increases for the past 4 months. A number of OFWs have been repatriated. In conclusion, the country is experiencing great economic losses due to COVID-19 pandemic. In this sentence, the speaker summarized the first set of ideas using the transition signal in conclusion. For the adversative transition, here is the first function: to introduce an opposite idea or contrast. Transition signals. Example sentence: even though the country is experiencing great economic loss due to this pandemic, it has continued helping other countries by sending our medical frontliners and other essential materials. The idea that the country is experiencing economic loss is contrasted by the idea that the country is still helping others with the help of transition signal, even though. Next function: to emphasize or clarify a point. Your transition signals. Sentence: despite our limited resources due to this pandemic, Glenda still managed to distribute relief goods to some of our neighbors. Indeed, she is a helpful and wonderful person. In this sentence, the word indeed is used to emphasize the ideas that Glenda is a helpful and wonderful person based on her act of distributing relief goods despite limited resources. Under the causal transition, the function is to indicate a consequence or result. Here are the transition signals. Sentence: the students reviewed their lessons well before their exams. As a result, they passed the school's assessment process. The first event is that the students reviewed their lessons, and the transition signal as a result shows the consequence wherein they passed the school's assessment process. And for sequential transition, it is used to sequence ideas. The transition signals are as follows. Sentence: my mother cooked our favorite breakfast. After eating, she washed the dishes and other utensils. Then, she swept the floor and cleaned the whole house. In the sentence, the transition signal after and then was used to show sequence of ideas. Let's now have a simple exercise. Identify the transition device used in the following sentences. Timer starts now. Here are the answers. 1. However. 2. As a result. 3. In addition. 4. Also. And 5. However. Did you get everything correctly? Let's have the next part. And the answer for the following sentences are 6, consequently, 7 is similarly, 8 is thus, 9 in addition, and 10 besides. Did you get it right? Great job, students! I hope you learned a lot in this lesson. Thank you!